I go to get my nails done, I pretend to not be Vietnamese and Chinese. I pretend I'm Japanese because these ladies at the nail shop, you know, freaking 99.9% of nail owners are freaking Vietnamese, right? Or the worker is Vietnamese, whatever. But I don't want them to know that I'm Vietnamese so I can hear what kind of shit they're talking about. And it's crazy the things I hear, seriously. One time, let me tell you a story. This was like a couple years ago. I went to the nail salon to get my pedicure, which is like, you know, for your feet. And yeah, so I'm sitting on the chair pretending to be Japanese. They're asking me, oh, are you Japanese? And I'm like, yes, I am. And they're like, oh, have you been back to Tokyo, Japan? And I'm like, yeah, I went last year, blah, blah, blah. And they asked me, do you know how to speak in Japanese? And I was like, yes, I do. And they asked me, can you say anything? And I said, yeah, I could say something. And they're like, okay, what? And I said, hajimemashite. And then they believe me right away that I'm Japanese. So I like to pretend I am, but I know I'm not. Just so when I go to nail shop, I can hear what they're saying and I have no clue that I understand them. So here I am at the nail salon, right, to get my pedicure, my feet done. And all of a sudden, like, the lady, the Vietnamese lady there, they're like, whispering, they're talking to each other in Vietnamese, and they're saying, hey, you need to come over here and look at this girl's crooked toe. I've never seen anything this crooked. And I was like, pretending to read a magazine, but I understand everything they're saying, but they don't know that I understand them, but I do because I'm Vietnamese and Chinese, but they think I'm Japanese. So yeah. So I'm pretending to read my magazine, I'm listening to them. And they're saying, oh my God, what happened to her toe? It's so ugly. You need to come and check this out. And then all these ladies are coming. They're looking at my toes. And I said, is there a problem? And they said, oh, no. We're talking about the color of your nail. It's good for you. And I said, okay. And then they started talking more about my toe, saying that, oh, maybe she needs surgery to get it fixed. And I was like, okay, that's enough. I've had it. And then I started speaking in Vietnamese to them, and they were shocked. Their faces, you should have seen their faces. They were like, oh, oops. No, like seriously, I was like, excuse me, and I said this in Vietnamese finally. I said, excuse me, can you guys keep your comments to yourself in Vietnamese? And I said, what you said about my toe is not nice, and I don't appreciate you guys talking about my toe. And I told them, I'm never gonna come back here. All of this in Vietnamese, and I didn't even give them any tip. Why would you give somebody tip when they're making fun of your freaking toe? So yeah, that was so funny. I was like, I was mad. But then when I left, I was laughing. I was like, ha ha ha. They didn't know. I understood everything, so it was a slap in their face. Ha ha ha. Be careful when you say anything mean to people because they could understand you. And keep your bad comments to yourself. Ha, duh, be nice. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. So now you guys know a little bit more about me. Well, I hope you guys liked today's video. Well, anyways, I will catch you guys later. And remember, stay